Hello dear fans, friends and subscribers. Welcome to the Cricket Happening Show this on a Saturday. And we are going to look at the third day's play in two matches today. One is a match between India and Sri Lanka, where India did well to actually get the last 6 wickets of the Sri Lankans for just 74 runs and took a 87 runs lead. And they had to really chisel their way out as far as the Indians were concerned. When the Sri Lankan bowlers were bowling in the second innings, when India scored 70 for 1 at close of play. But they are definitely doing well here as they are leading by 157 runs with 9 wickets intact. And as far as the Ashes Test is concerned, that is the one where, for a change, I would say, after the drubbing that they received in the previous two Test matches, Australia are coming into their own as they forced England to follow on by first bowling them out for 149, and then they had them at 203 for 6, and still England have a long way to go. And it was a pretty sad sight to see Alistair Cook just towards the close of play, when probably one thought this would have been his first Test century against Australia in an Ashes series in England. That was the time Stephen Smith produced a ball which turned, and Alistair Cook was caught at forward short leg, and he was gone for 85, 15 runs short of a century. And once he went, because he was the one who was doing all the grinding when all the other wickets were falling, and now it is left to Butler to extend it to the whatever possible way he could, because England still have another 129 runs to actually wipe off the arrears before getting into their groove against Australia. So first what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the match between India and Sri Lanka. And as I said, in India, the Indian bowlers polished off the Sri Lankan last 6 wickets for 75 runs, but there was one shining feature in that Sri Lankan score of 306, and that was Angelo Matthews, who came the other day, really worked hard for his runs, and finally he got to his century as he made 102 runs with 12 boundaries. The support was not really forthcoming, barring Lanka Thirimani, who made 62 with 5 boundaries. There was not much that Thirimani could do, but other than that, we saw that the Indian bowlers did a very good job, especially Amit Mishra, who bowled very well, turned the ball very well to finish with 21 overs, 3 maidens, 43 runs and 4 wickets. It was well supported by Ravichandran Ashwin, 29 overs, 3 maidens, 76 runs and 2 wickets, and 1 wicket apiece to the pace bowlers, with Stuart Binney picking up his maiden Test wicket. And what a wicket to pick up! In fact, he got the very big wicket, and he got rid of Angelo Matthews for 102, when he got him caught by Vijay. And in fact, Binney was very happy. Why not? This was his maiden Test wicket. Well, I wouldn't know it's a maiden Test wicket. Probably I'm speaking a bit too early. I'm not really sure, but Stuart Binney definitely took his Test wicket. So probably a maiden Test wicket, if I'm not wrong. He has not played a lot of Test matches, so I reckon it was his maiden Test wicket. But the Sri Lankan, I thought the Indian bowlers did a wonderful job. In fact, even though Angelo Matthews was there, he couldn't get much support from the other end, as Dinesh Chandimal, the hero of the first Test, was cheaply dismissed by Ishan Sharma for 11 with 1 boundary. Mubarak was clean bowled by Mishra for 22, was the only one who offered some resistance against the Indian spinners. Then it was left to the tail. Damika Prasad was consumed by Mishra for 5. Herat was LBW Ashwin for 1, and Terindu Kaushal left his crease, and Saha whipped off the bails in a flash with the bowling of Mishra. He was gone for 6. Shamira was not up for naught, and that meant that Sri Lanka, in reply to India's 393 all out, made 306 runs. Now that was an 87 run lead for the Indians, and when Indian batting started, they didn't have a good start, as Damika Prasad produced a beautiful inducker to send the Centurion Rahul back into the pavilion first up, as he was clean bowled by Prasad with a beautiful inducker which went on to shatter the stumps of Rahul. He was gone for 2, but after that I can really say that the day belonged to the Sri Lankan bowlers, because they really dominated the sessions by bowling in the right areas, and they were not giving any they were not giving any loose stuff either, and the Indian batsmen had to be very watchful. And we saw that once KL Rahul was gone, India realized that they wouldn't be having the freedom of playing the strokes, and they decided that they were going to play out the day. And well, they did it with Murli Vijay finishing on an unbeaten 39 with 2 boundaries to his credit. Ajinkya Rahane was not out on 28 with 1-4, and the partnership was worth an unbroken 67 runs as stumps were drawn on the 3rd day. So this match is also looking very interesting. And as I said, the Sri Lankan bowlers bowled very well. Damika Prasad, 4 overs 1 for 12, the solitary wicket taker. Herat 11.2 overs 3 minutes, none for 23. Shamira bowled 4 overs for 14. Angelo Matthews 2 overs 1 maiden and 1 run and no wicket. And Thanundu Kaushal bowling 8 overs of good spin, I thought, giving away 20 runs. Now, so see this match, there is definitely some life in it. The 4 days play coming up. India has to really take the total along. They definitely have the cushion of 87 runs, but you know, they can't take anything for granted. We know what India would be pretty much aware what Sri Lanka were up to in the first test when Dinesh Chandimal came with that stunning knock to stun India. So from here I'm turning the attention down to the Investec Ashes Test Series, and that is the most exciting one that is happening. Even though England have actually sealed up everything, just looking at it today, the England were the ones who were having the back seat. As you know, Australia in fact made 481 all out, and on the 3rd day England were actually bowled out for 149, and looking at that, the highest scorer in 149 was Moeen Ali, who decided that he will play his strokes, as he stroked 30 runs of 61 balls with 6 fours. Barring that, well, Adam Lith made 19, Cook was out for 22 with 4 fours. Ian Bell was bowled by Siddle for 10, and as I said, Siddle was the best bowler. He was bowling in the right areas, and he was the one who was the worrisome factor for England today. Now Bairstow, he got 13. Ben Stokes was caught by Neville of the bowling of Marsh for 15 with 2 boundaries. Butler was bowled by Lyon for 1, and it was all the handiwork of the Australian bowlers who really stuck it out. As I said, Siddle for me was the bowler of the moment. 13 overs 5 maidens, 32 runs and 2 wickets. Nathan Lyon turned the ball very well. 10 overs 2 maidens, 40 runs and 2 wickets. Mitchell Marsh also bowled excellently. 9 overs 2 maidens, 30 runs and 3 wickets. Mitchell Johnson bowled his heart out. 8.4 overs 4 maidens, 21 runs and 3 wickets. And Mitchell Stark was the luckless bowler. 8 overs 3 maidens, none for 18. So that was England in the first innings. In fact, Mark Wood was the other chief contributor with 24 runs with 6 boundaries. All the runs actually coming in boundaries for Mark Wood. And after England were all out for 149, and with that big lead, with Australia taking a very big lead there, and they forced forced England to follow on in the second innings, and well, 481. So basically, if you see, they were having a good lead of 332 runs. Australia taking a 332 runs lead in the first innings, invited England to, they made England follow on, and England following on definitely didn't have anything to their real liking, I would say, because it was, as I said, Siddle was bowling well. Siddle once again provided an early breakthrough, as he did in the first innings, by first scalping the wicket of Adam Lith, the opener of 10, 2 fours. And I think Adam Lith is someone whose form has to be examined now, because he has been given a long rope by the English selectors, probably because England was winning, but now England are in a losing situation, and Adam Lith, and we know this is the last match of the Test series, no doubt about it, but Adam Lith will be very closely examined now, because he has not had a good series at all. Alistair Cook was there. Ian Bell was the next man to go. Once again, Ian Bell falling to a good delivery from Marsh, I thought. He was caught by Clark of the bowling of Mitchell Marsh for 13 with 2 boundaries. And then Joe Root hooked into the hands of Mitchell Starc with the bowling of Johnson for 11 with 1 boundary. Jonathan Bairstow, probably a bit of a controversy whether he was well taken or not, but he was given out. He was caught in the closing cordon, caught Rogers' ball line for 26. But the man who really stayed at the crease, and in fact Ben Stokes was also an early victim. He was gone for a blob of the bowling of Nathan Lyon, and Nathan Lyon took 2 wickets pretty quickly when he dismissed Bairstow and Stokes of I think it was in the same over that he got the wicket. And then it was the only stubborn resistance was coming in. The stubborn resistance was coming in from the English captain Alistair Cook. He was doing it all by himself, and he was playing an innings which was full of grinding. He was really grinding the Australian attack, but the problem for Clarke was that there was no one who could really stay with him and play a long innings. And then slowly but surely the score progressed on to 199 thanks to Alistair Cook's contribution. And when it likely looked, I mean, there was not much time left in fact in the day. It was the 77th over, just before close of play. In fact, Michael Clarke decided that he would give Stephen Smith a bowl, and Stephen Smith, that was the first over that he was bowling, and I thought probably it was a sort of a brainwave for Michael Clarke to toss the ball to Stephen Smith. And look at what Stephen Smith did. In fact, Stephen Smith went on to pick up the wicket of the English captain Alistair Cook, and Alistair Cook tried to push forward at a delivery from Stephen Smith, which turned, and Adam Rogers was in business as he took the catch. And Cook definitely missing upon an opportunity to score his first Test century against Australia, against Australia in an Ashes series in England. He has definitely scored it against Australia in Australia, but he has never scored a century against Australia in England in an Ashes Test series, and that was eluded. Probably if Cook would have been there, probably one could say that England could still try to probably save the match, but since now Cook has gone just before close of play on the 3rd day, it is going to be mighty difficult for England to get out of jail, as Alistair Cook was out for 85 with 11 boundaries. After that, we saw that Jos Buttler, who was there at the crease at stumps on day 3, he was unconquered on 33 with 3 boundaries. Mark Wood was yet to score, and England closed the day at 203 for 6. So that means another 129 runs still needed for England to actually wipe off their ears and make Australia bat again. And well, looking at it, one could say that it's not going to be easy. Buttler has been joined in by Mark Wood, and they still have Moeen Ali still in the hut, still to come. In fact, since Alistair Cook fell, they decided not to risk Moeen Ali, and we could probably say a night watchman, Mark Wood coming out to bat, but Stuart Broad is still there, but still it looks very unlikely. It will be a matter of conjecture to see whether England can actually wipe off at least the 129 and make Australia bat again. But as of now, I think it's looking a bit dicey. And also, dear friends and subscribers, the news as far as the 4th day's play and 5th day's play concerned is not good from the Oval, as there are 2 days of forecast for rain. Well, if they get some play, so it all depends on what the rain gods have in store for Australia, and England would be hoping that the rain falls considerably, so that England can escape this. But Australia will be hoping that the rain stays away and they quickly wrap up this match. Let's have a look at the bowling figures of the Aussies. Johnson 13 overs 2 maidens 1 for 51. Mitchell Starc 14 overs 4 maidens none for 32. Nathan Lyon did a fine job once again in the 2nd innings. 25 overs 5 maidens 52 runs and 2 wickets. Siddle bowling his heart out. I mean, this is a marvellous bowling figures. He kept the batsmen quiet, kept them on a tight leash. He really didn't allow them any liberties whatsoever to stroke the ball in the fashion that the batsman would have wanted to, with making life pretty difficult, with bowling 16 overs, 10 maidens, and giving a measly 14 runs of 16 overs, and also picking up that giving the breakthrough for England in the second innings by picking up Adam Smith's wicket. And Mitchell Marsh, 10 overs 4 minutes 128. Stephen Smith 1 over no made 147, and what a wicket to get for Stephen Smith of the English captain Alistair Cook. Well, one thing that Michael Clarke would be happy about here is that this is the last test match for Michael Clarke, and Michael Clarke would be hoping that that tomorrow they could actually wrap up the match very quickly. At least Michael Clarke would have the solace, even though he has lost the Ashes Test series, he would at least have the solace that on his last test match as the captain of the Australian team, he goes with his head high, as Aussies would have actually blanked the Englishmen, and even though they lost the series, at least Michael Clarke will have the satisfaction that on his last test match in international cricket, Australia would have won. Well, one hopes that happens tomorrow. I am really looking out for a quick wrap up here. Probably one can say only the probably whether the inevitable would be delayed, and if at all it would be delayed, it could only be one thing, and that could be the rain. Well, that really sums up my Cricket Happening show for today. I hope you all enjoyed my cricket broadcast here after quite a long time. I know, dear friends subscribers, it has been pretty tough. I've been making a lot of changes on my system. I experimented something. I know I really from the bottom of my heart, I thank you all, dear friends and subscribers, for your immense patience on this cricket show. I know 4 days it has been pretty tough for me too. It has been as tough as you. There are people who really love my cricket show, which I'm very glad about, and you would have also missed this cricket show. But I'm very happy to see that whatever changes I did has started working, and I'm up there cracking once again on this Cricket Happening show, and I will be having another crack on this Cricket Happening show tomorrow. That's on a Sunday, and that would be looking at the 4 days play in the Investec Ashes Test series in the final test match between England and Australia, and also the 4 days play between England, India and Sri Lanka at the Pisara Oval, which would also be an interesting one. So that really says it all, and also ends my Cricket Happening show for today. Thank you.